What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to I Do It Myself. I'm Wayno. How y'all feeling? Good morning. If you like what it is that we do over here, hit that sub button, hit them likes, and run up that hype. Today we talking about Tyler, the Creator. It's crazy how when you put love out there, what it's greeted with. You never know how it's going to come back in certain instances. Tyler, the Creator, has been an artist that's expressed himself in a lot of different ways, and people have always looked at him with a funny ass eye. I think, and I'm gonna be dead honest about this. I think Tyler the Creator is one of the greatest artists of our generation. Not just the best, but one of the greatest artists of our generation. I think that what he's done has been able to show growth. It's been able to show development. It's been able to show love and compassion for how a nigga feel about his art, which is very personal to him. Now, D'Angelo passed away last week. And Tyler the Creator, he posted something about him. He said, "We are so lucky to have been alive to enjoy his art." He says, "My musical DNA was helped shaped by this man. Forever grateful, safe travels." Now, when he said that, he got Tyler's fan base has always been kind of funny with the things that he shows love to. And I think it's a gift and a curse. When Call Me If You Lost came out, you had a bunch of kids, and Tyler expressed that we had a bunch of kids complaining about DJ Drama screaming and yelling on the vocals, right? With this instance, it's a lot of people who might not understand nor get how he feels or what D'Angelo meant to him. Tyler Creator, though, epitomizes black music. You know what I mean? Epitomizes black art. And not only black art, but evolving it. You know what I'm saying? Evolving it. I feel like he's always been put in a box from day one. When he first came out in Yonkers and ate the roach, niggas was like, I remember being around a bunch of people from Philly. I think I probably told the story before. And a bunch of people from Philly, I was sitting around, was like, "Oh man, young boy a nut. Like he a weirdo, right?" Which I'm gonna keep it 100. Eating a roach is some nut shit. That's some weird shit. Let's keep it a stack. But for myself, I listened to the words that he said. Now, when he talks about his music from back then, he always says about how the music wasn't mixed right, it didn't sound good, it's just bad music. But for me, it was reminiscent of how I grew up on Eminem or even Cameron. Cameron had Confessions of Fire. If you a Cam fan, a real Cam fan, you know that Cam used to have shock value bars as well. DMX, I got blood on my hands and there's no remorse. I got blood on the corpse. You know what I'm saying? If you remember all of those bars, then you remember and can appreciate entertainment for what it is. But a lot of people feel as if they don't connect with something, that they aren't entertained. Now, somebody had put a comment that said Tyler Creator's fan base hates black music, despite Tyler himself having a very deep love and appreciation for it. Nigga has Charlie Wilson, Erykah Badu, DJ Drama, etc. collaborations, and they still refuse to engage with black art on any meaningful level. Very cannibalistic. Now, the whole outrage against Tyler, the Creator, it comes to, from my standpoint, it comes to me like this. If you don't listen to certain shit or you ain't into certain shit, that you just not going to understand. But now we have people trying to galvanize or build a fucking army of revisionists. You know what I'm saying? Some could call them new blacks. You know what I mean? But for real, we have an army of people that want to remix how things went. Now, like I said, while Tyler the Creator had a lot of shock value to him very, 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 very early on, he always was about music and the importance of it. And as he got older, we seen him evolve. See, the thing is that when people was younger artists, depending on how they were marketed, you took them as a younger artist. Now, Tyler the Creator, for that instance, I felt like a lot of people looked at him as a gimmick. And it was not that I felt like that. Mad people thought he was a gimmick. Mad people said, "Oh, he eating roaches, he doing this, that shit is gonna fail, it's gonna be trash, it's not gonna work, it's not gonna keep going, it's not going, whatever you wanna say," right? But time in and time out, he's grown from that. You got users that said stuff like this. Tyler Creator was a month shy of 24 years old when he said this. This is nuts. And he says, "I hate Black History Month. Why the fuck do you have to separate niggas still? always paying homage to our heroes. F that, right? So, listen, I think that so many people forget what it's like to clout chase. Or let's not even say clout chase. Let's talk about Black History Month for a second. I don't dislike Black History Month. I remember Morgan Freeman goes viral almost every year for saying how Black History Month is American history and how it should be more than a month. We know that we ain't getting more than a month. My only issue that I've ever had with Black history, and I'm speaking my experience, not nobody else's, is yes, we have tons of people like the Malcolm X's. Well, they don't really talk about Malcolm X, but the Martin Luther Kings. You have the Rosa Parks. You have a lot of people from a lot of different walks of life that they do celebrate. But I feel like we seldomly forget about so many other stories, and those stories don't get told. And because we packed into the smallest month of the year, that the shit is trash. Now, I think that it's a lot of people that agree with that, but are scared or not willing to say something like that due to the backlash they think that they're gonna get. Doesn't mean that they hate Tyler Creator. I mean, that they hate Black History Month, or they agree with Tyler Creator, because this is something he said when he was younger. I'm just saying my own experience. Now, there's another one where he says, and Black people are currently mad, right? Because in 2 weeks we'll be over it because they really don't care. Cool hashtag though, right? And the person puts like, and they're rallying all these old tweets and try to rile stuff up. Now listen, we're not going to sit here and forget or skip over the fact that certain old tweets coming from certain people do affect us, but context matters. Context extremely matters. Now, it'd be one thing if Tyler, the Creator, was just a person who did a lot of shock value shit to build a base and not ever dig into his roots or talk about stuff that affects him, like when he was at Comic-Con.
And my boyfriend's a really big fan of Tyler and everything. He's been a fan since he was like 13.
She don't know who you are.
No, I do. I listen to Who That Boy, even though it's the most recent. But my question is, sorry, it doesn't really relate to the show, but he was wondering, why is Cornell black now?
Okay, hold the fuck up.
That's a good question.
Sorry.
We should have started with that.
It's not your fault. It's like, why you make them black? Why can't have anything, man? No, don't clap. Hold on. How many fucking black cartoon characters is it on TV right now? I named 5. I'll give you time.
Cartoon characters? Wait, cartoon characters or characters in general?
Cartoon.
I only know like.
It is
Cleveland
none.
and his family.
It is none. They canceled Static Shock. Nobody remember Fillmore. It's like, we don't got shit. The only other black character is this fucking weird ass. Oh no, they killed Chef off fucking South Park.
Oh yeah.
So we don't have shit. So I said, fuck that. We about to make this black, and he ain't got no guns. He ain't shooting no fucking basketball, and he a fucking goober, and we gonna put him on TV. And he's the lead character. He ain't the comic relief. He ain't the sidekick. He the lead. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Now, also, I'm not going to negate the fact that a lot of people don't connect with him or his music. Everything ain't for everybody. But to sit here and try to paint this narrative or this picture of Tyler, the Creator, as if he's this somewhat anti-black, or he was ever anti-black at one point in time, or he doesn't care about black people and he just galvanizes this white group of people and that's all he cares about. I think that shit is very, 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 ridiculous. It's extremely ridiculous. Go over everything that he's done in his career. How he's put himself out there on the line, whether you agree with it or not. I'm going to keep it 100. I feel like I don't believe that Tyler, the Creator, is gay until he would have a wedding or some shit, because I feel like he does troll in a lot of different ways. But if you've been a fan of him, then you understand how that's been a part of his brand. Now, in recent times, you know what I'm saying? In recent times, we've seen him grow and elevate. At the point when he got the Grammy for Igor, he was upset about that. And he wasn't upset about the fact of him getting Igor because he got a Grammy, because he had manifested back in 2010 or 2011 or something like that he was going to win a Grammy. He felt like it was a consolation prize. He felt like they just gave him that and called it a rap album when he said, yo, listen, this is not a rap album. I went alternative, and I did that for a reason, because I want to be considered in a different space. But then he came back with Call Me If You Get Lost with DJ Drama and won a Grammy for Rap Album of the Year. And I feel like that shit was extremely well-deserved. And not only was it well-deserved for just the rap, but think about the element of it. Gangsta grills, bringing a layer back to the game that had been, I'm not going to say non-existent, because people had done gangsta grills, but this is the first gangsta grills to win a Grammy. Now, if we talk about what's certified in the streets, then we could go on for days about the shit that DJ Drama has done and all of the albums he's worked on, or the tapes that he's worked on that are just straight up and down bona fide classics. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about hip hop. Tyler, the Creator, being a hip hop artist, because yes, he can do alternative, but him being a hip hop artist and jumping into another space or seat that might be uncomfortable as fuck, and then bringing it back and showing them that I could do this shit with rap, and putting DJ Drama at the forefront of that shit. That shit was beautiful. And we gonna sit here and act and forget like Tyler, the Creator, or pose for 1 second. Y'all gonna act like this nigga ain't do nothing? That's insane to me. Now, the thing about, D'Angelo, this is the problem that people have when you put yourself out there to talk about public issues, right? When you talk about public issues, then everybody wants to scrutinize or pick apart. I'm not one of those people that believe if you don't have haters that you're not doing anything productive, right? I don't believe that you have to go through hate or have people dislike what it is that you're doing to be a productive person, because you got to really focus on the ones that really, really mess with you and block all others out. But for Tyler, the Creator, and what he's done from, I'll say 2010, I got onto him in 2011, but I think the first Odd Future tape might have came out in 2010, let's say 11, from Bastard, you know what I'm saying, to Goblin, Cherry Bomb, Flower Boy, you know what I'm saying, all of these, Wolf, all these different albums where he's adding all these different elements of sound. And another thing that way he doesn't get credit for is his production. His production, yes. This nigga really sitting in and producing full-on albums. Chromacopia. You know what I mean? What he's done there. Don't Tap That Glass. You know what I'm saying? Even with Don't Tap That Glass, you have so many people that was like, oh, this shit trash, this is that. And his whole thing was, I want to dance. I want to make people feel fun. We really don't appreciate people till they gone. Now, I'm not looking forward to the day when that happens for anybody, especially not no Tyler, but I don't think people really take the time to step back, because we got so much access to so many things, to really unpack the fact that we have some of the best artists that we've ever seen, not negating anything that's come prior to them. Because whenever you appreciate somebody, they always want to talk about what this one ain't. I ain't here to do that. To me, Tyler, the Creator, is a motherfucking anomaly. We ain't seen nothing like him. Don't bring up Kanye West, because he produces as well. Not going there with that. You know what I'm saying? Kanye is a legend within his own right, but I'm talking about Tyler, the Creator, specifically. Kid from Hawthorne, California. You know what I'm saying? By the way of LA, California in its totality, brings streetwear culture and skating culture. Not saying that he was the only person to do it, but gives it a new element. Supreme had been existing. But let's just keep it 1,000. People wasn't rocking it the way they was until Tyler started rocking that shit. And I'm not saying for you on your block and what you was doing. I'm just speaking generally. Tyler's influence, you know what I'm saying? His influence on culture, from fashion to aesthetics to how he does music videos, you know what I mean? To his talent with producing, writing. How many people, if you have to build up all these categories, has done it like him? Being part of a collective, being able to break off from the collective and become something, and to keep this shit going to where he's a superstar. Don't get it twisted. Just because you might not hear him on your radio, or your moms don't play him, or even your little sister don't play him, don't mean that this man not a superstar. But where did we get to the point? Where we forget shock value? I myself, when I was a kid, used to listen to the Grave Diggers. RZA went off and was in a group called the Grave Diggers, and they was doing all types of horrorcore shit. My favorite song from the Gravediggers is Nowhere to Run To, Nowhere to Hide. You know what I'm saying? And I remember, you know, watching them and that sound not being as popular, you know what I mean? Or being something that so many people gravitated to, especially coming from where I'm coming from in the Bronx and then moving to Harlem. Like, it wasn't something that people gravitated to, but it was a shot. Might have been a shot in the dark. Gravediggers then become the most successful group. But I think that artists that do embrace that weirdness side of them also show kids and give these kids an element that you could be who the hell you want to be. And I'm saying that you could be whoever you want to be. And also, Tyler's a nerd baby, like myself. You know what I'm saying? We come from that school of Star Trek. You know what I'm saying? That school of eclectic colors and not giving a damn. But without that and without Tyler, I think that in hip hop currently today, a lot of that free range creativity does not exist. You could give that ball to whomever you would like to and say, well, they the ones that did it or they the ones that started it. But I'm not gonna let people forget about Tyler, the Creator. Somebody who started Can't Flog No is just an idea, and it's a festival that's been running for years now. You know what I mean? Somebody who's really a boss, like super duper bossed up, but doesn't necessarily brag. Now, don't get me wrong, if you listen to the music, he does brag about that type of shit. But on a general basis, you know what I mean? You're not getting that from him. You know what I mean? We're not getting that from him. I think that a lot of people should take a step back, look at context, and also understand, do you not want to be entertained? Do you not want to be entertained, and what do you want to be entertained by? You know, Chris Rock called this selective outrage. What do you want to be entertained by? You feel me? Because we will sit here and talk about what Tyler, the Creator, did and how detrimental it is and how he's a agent of chaos against black people. You know, you can start getting them conspiracy theorists and shit. But think about how popularized the term Tuka was, smoking on Tuka, and people negating the fact that this was a young kid who had lost his life. Regardless to the circumstances, this is something that his mom had to hear that became this world-renowned catchphrase that was everywhere. And y'all pointing the finger at Tyler, the Creator. This is I Do It Myself. For the ones that rock with me, know how we doing. For the ones that don't, eventually will. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.